Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Wilson here. Want to talk about something that was provided to me by Joshua George, and he essentially brought it over when we were working on the corn walls, and it is a Musician Monoceros preamplifier, and I kept it in the system really for about 6 weeks. Was able to spend a good amount of time with it. He told me, hey, look, it's open-ended. I don't need it back. When you're done with it, I'll sell it or whatever. It's not a big deal. I got my bases covered back at the house, so just keep it as long as you want to. And I mean, the opportunity there was to buy it if I wanted to, and I was open to that. But the main opportunity was just getting a flavor of some different things. The only preamp I've ever had is the Schiit Freya Novel. I call it and most people just call it the Freya N. And that's really the only preamp exposure that I've really had, and it being tubes. The Monoceros is, of course, not tubes, solid state. So it was a good opportunity. Now, what he did before he put the Monoceros in was he put his new PS Audio Stellar Gold preamp in, which I believe, I mean, I'll correct myself in the edit, I think that's about a $3,000 preamplifier. And we were listening to that with the Fortes and everything, made a very significant difference. I was very impressed with that preamplifier. Now, the Monoceros, let's talk about the Musician Monoceros a few minutes. There's some interesting things about it. Nonetheless, we'll get to it. But this remote control, but this is the old girl. She's 15 pounds, and I mean it's solid as a rock. I'm going to be sharing some photos. I didn't want to open it up. I just didn't want to get into that. This is not really going to be a review. I need to say that up front. This is just going to be Wilson's impressions, whatever you want to call it. And like I say, she's 15 pounds. It's got huge LEDs. I'll show you a picture of the display, the way the display works. It's actually, you know, when you're looking at it online or whatever, the display kind of looks 1995, and is that the best they can do? But to be honest with you, I like the display. The display looks great. Some other things, the only options you have, the only thing you can change is the input and the volume, okay? And as far as the back side, I'll put an image up of the back side so you can see it up close. Kind of an odd cabling structure, and if you're not careful, you'll cross things up. I can't remember if it was the amplifier that we got crossed up. We got something crossed up. I can't remember what it was. I think maybe it was the RCAs, for the turntable, for the phono preamplifier. But it is fully balanced. To give you an idea of some of the features, it's pure Class A. That was very important to me. I am very interested in a pure Class A preamp and an amplifier for that matter. I know you're talking about heating the room up, but that's fine. I've got an air conditioner for that. Pure Class A, true balanced, fully discrete line stage. Going to be reading off my computer over here, if you'll bear with me. A 60-step microprocessor controlled relay based stepped attenuator. How about say that 5 times really fast? But basically what the deal is just kind of similar to the way Schiit does the volume on the Kara and the Freyas. It's got a step attenuator, works really good. It is a lot more sensitive than the Freya. You can hit the volume button up or down on the remote and easily go 5 or 6 spots. So you could be at 35 and just momentarily like that and go up to 38, 39, really easy. But that wears off. You get used to that, and you'll actually be able to control it better the more you play with it. And you know, it took me a couple days, but I had it down to where I could move it 1 digit or 2 digits at a time. Now, also precision matched through-hole high precision resistors and components with perfect channel balance and low distortion. Kind of looks like a ladder DAC in here. And this is, and let me back up a little bit and say this. I had a hard time finding information. Now, he bought it from Musician. And I don't know if the tariffs has changed their business model, what they're doing. I don't know if it's them making it or them having somebody make it for them. It is made in China, 100%. It's roughly $1,000, I think, since the tariffs. It's gone up maybe by a couple hundred, maybe $300. The website is down. Well, it's down for me. Let me explain that. I don't, through some protection I've got on my side, using a VPN and everything, it did not want to open the web page without a warning. And I said, well, I'll just forego that. I did a lot of research with ChatGPT with it, and I was trying to find out, there's a Denafrips like this, and then there's this, it's called the Denafrips HADES, and then there's this Musician Monoceros, and they look exactly alike, same feature set. The photos of it without the case on it are exactly the same. They're exactly the same, folks. I did quite a bit of reading, a couple different reviews, and I'm just unable to depict any difference. So going forward, let's talk about the Denafrips model. It's called a Hestia, if you can quite get that out of the mouth. Of course, like I said, all of this is made in China. The Hestia is 13, I think it's either $12.99 or $13.99. You can get it in black, you can get it in this, I guess, silver color. It's just brushed aluminum. Looks great, feels great. You got 3 stands back here, and there is a little bit of protection here, so you're not going to scratch anything up. Yeah, they call it silver. So the question is, though, oh, and let me tell you about this. This thing is, dude, you kill somebody with this. I mean, I, just found out my daughter is going to have a baby. Maybe I want to keep this around just for paddling purposes. Joking. So anyway, yes, I am now a grandpa, or will be. In my opinion, I am right now, but you know what I mean. It's going to take 9 months to cook, to do the cooking. So anyway, this thing is amazing. I love it. I love the feel of it. It's the best remote that I've had the feel of. I do have a PS Audio remote, and this is a pretty nice remote too. It's a plastic back, aluminum front. But the problem is, you know how you'll be working on a remote and it lights up, which I love because I'm old and I can't see. But the problem is, it doesn't matter if you used it 10 seconds ago. You kind of have to wake it up. And I don't like that about it. This thing is nails. It works. So anyway, the remote is like flagship. I'm sure that there are $20,000 amplifiers out there that do not have remotes this nice. I'm positive of it. Absolutely. They really thought through. This is a solid block of aluminum milled out, and they did a fantastic job with that. You'll see the photos I had of the inside. It's got a beautiful toroidal transformer. That's probably, if you want to know the truth, that's probably 7 or 8 pounds of the weight. It is, well, it's like takes up about that much room. I mean, it's pretty massive. So anyway, great preamplifier. So you may be asking, well, Wilson, if it's that good, and it is, it's a nice preamplifier. You can look at some of the other Denafrips and Musician reviews out there, and you will hear them talk very highly of the preamplifier. You might say, well, why did you take it out? Why did you put the Freya back? To be fair with you, it colors the digital side in a way that it wasn't bad, but I noticed it. You say, wait a minute, hold on. That's got to be the DAC, or that may be the mastering of the digital file or something like that. No, I basically volume matched my analog and my digital sides, and I tried this on several albums, and I tried it on FLAC that I had on my hard drive. Also tried it on a couple different versions of Qobuz. For example, I had a FLAC that was 44.1, and then I tried a Qobuz that was like 192, and of course, you know, the vinyl, and it just there was a heat to it. I don't want to call it a warmth. It was almost hot, and I kept thinking, man, maybe I just need to put the Freya back in. So eventually, I put the Freya back in, and that went away. So I don't know what that was. And the thing about it was if I were just generally listening, casually listening, I didn't notice it. But if I were critically listening and I were volume matched and I would just go back and forth a little bit, I'd be like, that ain't right. You know, something just ain't right. In fact, I got used to the way Fleetwood Mac's, I'll give you an example. Fleetwood Mac's Tango in the Night, the Rhino Reserve, I got so used to the way that sounded. And I knew what the digital should sound like as well. I've got a DSD of that, and I've also got a FLAC of that. And I was like, something's just not right about the way that digital is sounding. And it was just enough to irritate me. And I just can't have it. Now, I put the Freya back in, and it's like resolved just like that. And I think, number one, there's two ways of looking at that. Number one is, if I were not used to the way the Freya sounded and liked it, then it wouldn't have mattered. So there's nothing wrong with this. I'm going to be clear about that. Nothing wrong whatsoever. I'm just saying that if I've got to pick between the two, well, the Freya's in the system and this is out, you know. I am wanting to pick up a PS Audio BHK preamplifier here in the next few months. I've got something else coming. It was shipped today. Be here tomorrow, and really looking forward to it. It's going to help out on the digital front end as well. Well, I reckon that's really the back side of the digital. Getting a streamer, and I will leave that open. I won't name the streamer. We'll have a streamer episode. So, and we'll go through the digital side of my system in detail, and I look forward to that. But I want to get it in the system and play with it some and learn about the difference that it's going to make, good or bad. And it's not a cheap device either. So let's see how that turns out. But right now, the Musician, and what a name, what an unremarkable name, Monoceros, interesting model number, but Musician, I don't get that. But this is, hey, this is right there with Musician and Denafrips, weirdo name there too. Topping, that's more normal, I guess. But these are all Chinese manufactured products, and the prices are right on. That's why they sell good. Um, but I do believe, hey, look, if you're looking at this and you've got a Freya or a Kara, that's a no. Number one, what difference are you going to hear? Are you going to hear the same difference I heard? I can't tell you. I mean, there's probably other things in the system that may balance that back out or even accentuate the problem that I was having, or not the problem, the difference that I was having even more for you. So be careful with that. But just keep in mind that it's $1,000 preamp or a $1,300 preamp for a reason. And you're not going, I don't believe you're going to be switching in between $1,000 preamps and like, oh wow, that's an amazing difference. I don't think that's going to happen. And when you talk about the diminishing returns, well, there's not even a return there. You know, it's not worth the effort having to sell the other item if you so choose to do so, or shipping that back. It's just not worth it. I think you really need to step up. Like I say, I'm taking a big step here. As soon as I can find one in the condition I want and everything, I'm gonna buy one used or refurbished, one of the two. Every now and then PS Audio will have a BHK preamplifier. They're $3,000 reconditioned from the factory, but they will have the factory warranty and everything. So that's kind of like what I'm looking to do. Sorry this didn't work out, because here, I'm telling you, convenience wise, now listen, convenience wise, this is extremely convenient. And the Freya is not convenient. And what I mean by that is, I can take the remote, and right now my tubes are on. I was listening to some Tears for Fears. So the remote, this is just a symptom of tubes, but that's straight stage right there. That's no gain stage at all. And then you've got the middle stage. I forget exactly what that means. And then of course you've got the full gain. You've got all four tubes pumping, and you're not supposed to leave those things on overnight, because tubes are time sensitive. They're not going to last but so long. This thing, you could just leave it. And I did for 6 weeks. I just left it on right there at like volume 20. And I would come in and take my phone and hit Rune and get something going. And it's absolutely that easy. Now that is a big convenience factor. And that and the remote, I'll tell you, I almost put up with it, with the coloration like I was talking about. So convenience factor, for some might make it something that works better. I had a Kara in my system, which is basically a Freya with no tubes, okay? There are some other differences. Other than that, don't flame me. I realize that the Kara has got some other differences, but they're not much. and I had it in my system for about 6 months. It was Joshua's, and it worked great. I thought it worked great, but it wasn't worth me going through the effort of selling my Freya to keep that Cara or anything like that. It was just not worth that. In fact, it didn't sound any different to me. It sounded, no, let me put it this way. It didn't sound any better to me. It sounded a little cooler to me, probably because of, the Freya's got the tubes. Sounded great, sounded fine, sounded actually similar to this. So anyway, that's it for this, and be looking forward to doing one of the episodes on the Cornwalls I was talking about, where I talk about some listening notes on some albums. But anyway, thanks. Like and subscribe, please. And for God's sakes, have a good day.